Okay. Next, we have to create. Now we have to add a record. Okay. Add employee. We have to add that record. So for that, we create here some simple button. Okay. On that button, I have to perform a routing and display our add employee component. On that, we add a record. Okay. For that, we use a Angular material. Right now, we use a bootstrap. But if you want to use Angular material, how we can use that Angular material, that will be seen here. Okay. For add employee, we use here Angular material. First, we have to create that. And just delete that things. Okay. On the home, I have to create a button. So I'm just creating here. Just create a one div for that button. So it is proper layout. We have to create a div, and in that div, I create a button. Because create a div always. After that, you have to apply any CSS other things. With the help of div, you can apply properly. Okay. So for that, create a div, add employee. Okay. On that add employee, just I have to mention the class, that is a btn happen success. Okay. Just see here whether it is working properly or not. Yes, it is displayed properly. And now I have to perform unclick add employee to navigate your employee component, add employee component. For that, I have to create first add employee component. So we create ngtc add emp or employee. Okay. Add employee. Now the component I have to configure in our routing file. Okay. So I have to configure that in our routing file. Create one more object here. Inside that, I have to mention that path and just mention the add emp. I use a shortcut path add emp. And on that, I have to render the component add employee. Okay. Now here also apply can activate, because after the login, I just display or I can access only add employee. Before login, I don't want to access. So I just apply that authentication authguard also for this route can activate I'm using for that add emp. Now that's add emp we can use here in home. On the button also you can use a router link. Okay, so I'm just apply here a router link, because in previous case we use a router link on anchor tag. Okay, so there is no any condition you use a router link on anchor tag. You can use button as well as you can use image. So we can just mention the router link adding. Check it whether when. Okay, my backend is stopped, I think. Okay, just run that backend. Refresh it. When we click on add employee, now it display the add employee component. In URL also mention that /add emp. Now in add emp, I have to render first a header. Okay, so we can apply that header on that add employee. So open that add employee. Again, I have to copy that same code for whatever the detailed components we have to use, because uniformity is important in your any application. So we have to copy that code and we can use in our add employee view file. Now it displays your header. Okay. Now inside that, I have to use one more container class to display your view using Angular material. For that Angular material, if you are using Angular 12, so it is recommended you can also use Angular material is also used for 12. Okay, that is a recommendation, because that particular version is compatible the Angular material